Oh, by the way, Philip.
Hmm?
You know how I won that tournament?
Yeah.
I had offensive overtrigger every single game that night.
Are you proud of yourself?
No, but it's
Good.
funny in hell.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of V-Time, episode 176. Alex is back, replacing with Eric.
Yeah.
Just in time. The what?
I'm sure Eric was upset that he wasn't there for 69, but he at least got to be in one of them.
Yeah. I don't do that the big of a favors. I don't move episodes around. You know the sad part? If we did do episodes when we were supposed to do and not skip certain weeks in the past like 3 to 4 years, it might have fallen on 69.
You heard it, Eric.
But with all that being said, well, we got a really cool episode for you today. Not only do we finish off set 11 with the Sword Boy, we also start talking about other Sword Boys. And yes, we will be talking about it because they actually look interesting.
So I read one card and stopped. So I don't know anything about what they do.
Bruh. If we get this in English, you should not sleep on this.
Oh boy. We'll see what it does here in a bit.
Exactly. But other than that, a couple news sections and stuff like that. Other than that, like a normal episode. Other than that, let's get straight to it. But before that, if you're interested in buying any cards from TCG Player, please use our affiliate link down below.
Your purchases through this link help support the channel, so we work great videos like this straight to you guys.
And with that scripted part of the way, let's get straight to the leaks. Starting us off with a banger because set 11 basically concluded. And instead of showing the rest of the cards because there weren't none, they saved Ezel for Tuesday's stream. But with doing that, in between, they just showed high rarities. So we just get to start off with Ezel.
Yeah, pretty much.
You want to take it or should we do 1 and 1?
We'll do 1 and 1.
Perfect. I'll start. We got Crimson Lion Cub Criff. He is back as the starter and as per usual, normal starter effects when going second, draw a card, yada, yada, yada.
No jump riding like his old skills.
No, but he is key to the deck. Without him, the deck can't do what it wants to do. But that's why we're going to go straight on to the grade 1.
Got Knight of Elegant Skills, Gareth. As auto, when this unit is rode upon by a Knight of Superior Skills, I'm going to butcher the name. Balmains. Search your deck for up to 1 Reign Supreme King of Beasts. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. And then continuous rear guard during your turn. If you have a Vanguard with Ezel in his card name, it gets power +2.
I mean, simple, straightforward. It searches out a order. We're going to see what the order does here in a bit. One. Mm-hmm.
I do have one fun flavor thing about this. I'm mad at it too at the same time. So somebody pointed out to me that the order is actually the SP flavor text of the original Ezel.
Really?
Yep. And the sad part is technically the order for Vermilion is almost the original text.
What about Maelstrom?
No, his order's different name than his flavor text.
Oh, sadness.
But no, like it was it was Vermilion Thunderbolt and his flavor text, and they turned it to Eternal Thunderbolt for the order. I was like, oh, come on.
Well, it's flavor text. It's inspired what it is.
Mm-hmm.
One thing to mention, though, you think you know how to say Balmains after 11 years of the card existing?
Balmains.
Bro, I'm literally not joking. Like, the card existed in G when you started. The card existed in V, and now it's back again. Anyway, moving on to the flavor text in question. The order to the grade 1 search is Reign Supreme King of Beasts. It's a grade 3 normal order that says play this if you have Vanguard with Ezel in its card name. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less unit card from among them, call it to rearguard, and it gets 5k until the end of turn. Shuffle your deck. So it's basically ye old gold paladin effects on a card.
Yeah. I mean, looking at top 7 is pretty good. You can ask Tamiyura how often top 7s, how consistent they are.
You're not wrong. Just you need to remember it's top 7. Not like Connor sometimes going just top 3 and going, wait a minute.
No, it's like the old days, Gold, you only looked at 3 at max, so 7's a new number for them.
Well, technically they still do, but we'll get to him. Overall, it's not a bad order. Like, it's a plus to the board for playing an order, and it gives a 5k, so it makes anything basically hit that's, say, grade 1 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, not bad. Moving on. You get a second try.
Knight of Superior Skills Battle Means. Act Vanguard once per turn. If your soul has a Gareth and a Criff, discard a card from your hand and choose up to one incandescent line blonde Ezel from your right line. Ride it as stand, and it gets drive -1. The jump rides back, boys.
Wait, hold on. What did you say?
The jump rides back, boys.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. People do say jump ride.
Yes.
Is it our group specifically, or?
No, it was a thing back from the very beginning of Vanguard because we had the skills before at the very beginning.
See, I'm not crazy. Anyway,
then auto rear guard when this unit attacks. If you have a Vanguard with Ezel in his card name, you may have this unit get power +5 into the end of battle, and if you do, it gets sent to the bottom of the deck.
So basically, it becomes a 15k attacker that can get sent to the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
Overall, it's not bad because, like you said, it jump rides Ezel. So you get the grade 3 faster. So if you get to go first, you're basically grade 3 while they're grade 1.
Mm-hmm.
What does that entail later?
That we need open circles.
Pretty much. Anyway, enough dilly-dallying. Let's actually talk about the man himself. Incandescent Line Blonde Ezel. He's back. He's a grade 3. He's the main boss unit. He jump rides for good reasons. And he starts off with a good skill to stop bullshit. Continuous Vanguard. You can only ride cards with Ezel in their card name. This can prevent, going into Ezel and then going into grade 4 Bastion while your opponent's still grade 2.
It also gives room for, them saying, hey, we're going to be making more Ezels down the road.
Pretty much. But then he continues, Auto Vanguard. At the beginning of your ride phase, if you have 3 or less unit cards, Soul Blast 1, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less unit card from among them, call it to an open rear guard, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. There's the top 3 searcher.
Yep.
And then last but not least, Auto Vanguard, when this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, Counterblast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 grade 3 or less unit cards from among them, call them to open rearguard, and this unit gets power 10k until the end of turn. Shuffle the deck. So overall, he does Ezel things.
Yeah. I do love how most people read the second skill wrong. A lot of them were thinking that for some reason the rear guards gained a 10 and not the Vanguard.
No. The Vanguard gains 10.
Granted, probably would have helped them. It helped the deck a bit if the rear guards gained a 10 too. But
bro, if the rear guards gained 10, this deck would have been so much better. But that's basically why it's good right now, because that would made it broken. Because on a Persona right turn, you're giving 20k to the front row rear guards while you're doing stupid things, basically. Gain power somewhere else. Overall, he's not bad. Like, you have to have 2 rear guards and himself to activate his secondary ability of, look at top 3, call a rear guard for a Soul Blast. And then he's restricted to your opponent being grade 3 to do the whole multi-attack, which is good. Like, it'd be a little bit busted if you could do 5 attacks and deck thin while your opponent's still a grade 2. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. My thing, though, is on paper, jump running sounds great. But it's really not.
It is and it isn't. It comes down to pace. Like, when you jump ride, you still have to discard to jump ride. So you're basically just skipping a turn. You're still discarding the same amount as you would normal riding. You're skipping a turn. You're actually missing out on one drive check in between. So, and if anything, you're minusing one card. And then when Ezel does jump ride, he only gains one drive check. So you're not even getting twin drive to plus that card back. Now, when you go next turn, you're back to normal. If you went first, your opponent's a grade 2. You can, plus a decent amount because you can still do 3 attacks. You can still twin drive. You're basically doing a Blast of Dark turn at that point.
See, what the issue comes down to is if you jump ride when you're going second, so say your opponent's at grade 2 while you're doing this, you're opening up decks like Candiva and what was the other ones?
Like
some other decks that like, oh, well, I wasn't a full power until you're at grade 3 to, oh, I can just immediately ride into full power.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
It's a pace deck. You need to understand what your opponent's doing, what you're doing, and then pace yourself. Because there's one thing also. We're going to talk about the cards later, but Bowmains was a good example. A lot of your cards are going to go away so they can leave open rearguard so that Ezel can call more. That's good for the mechanic. That's bad for plussing. Cards going away means you're minusing them overall if you can't make them for free.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, let's talk about the first card that fixes one problem and honestly should be a double rare in my opinion and played at a 4 of.
Silver Fang Witch. It's grade 1 auto. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Gold Paladin in its clan, this unit gains power plus 5,000 until the end of turn and then cost Counterblast 1 to draw a card.
Bro, this is GG, but instead of Soul Blast 2, Counterblast 1.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's literally that, yeah.
Oh my god, this is just a good card. Like, in my opinion, you should never ditch this. In Ezel, this is your only good plus engine.
The only downside is that its skills restricted to you being grade 3. So like GG, you can place early game with it, but this you can't.
When this unit is placed on rear, if you have a grade 3 clan, this unit gets 5k until the end of turn. Yeah, you have to be grade 3. So you can't really early game this, but at the same time, you can early game this because you literally just can't use this on turn 1. On turn 2, it's active.
Yeah. Like the moment you jump right, you're going to have it off. But I'm just saying, like, you can't just try to do like a whole grade 1 rush turn with it.
Sadly, you cannot. But overall, it's a good card. And it's a 13k attacker on its own. All right, now we talk about the double rare for Ezel. She's back. Listener of Truth, Dindrain. She's a grade 1 8k again. And her ability is very similar yet different to her old. Because she goes auto. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard only one clan, Soul Blast 2 and Counter Charge 1. A little bit of hefty cost. But can work in any... Basically can work in any encounter deck. The second ability cannot though, because it goes auto rearguard at the end of the battle. This unit boosted if you have a Vanguard with Ezel in its card name. Put one other rearguard in the same column as this unit on the bottom of the deck and stay in this unit. Look at a card that can open circles and be a constant booster.
Yeah, Dindrain though is the most hilarious Minerva support card I've ever seen.
Yes. Holy shit, now you mention it.
Let me Soul Blast my Camelanes to counter charge and then use that counter blast immediately to call it back.
Honestly, you can make bruh. Like you can not only counter charge, you can basically make a full back row with just this card and Melissa's. And honestly, you can even soul charge the same amount. You can basically call one card, -0 in soul, counter charge 1, and make 3 units in the back row. With Melissa and this. Fuck, that could work. Damn it.
Now I get to let them cook.
Nah, see, the problem with Minerva is she got the double rare, she got the promo. Space is getting a little bit tight because those two cards are just too good to not play. On the other hand, like, Soul Blast 2, get anything on board, counter charge at the same time does not sound bad. Jesus.
I mean, you won't get the whole Tucker rear guard to restand that thing, but you'll get the counter.
You really need to?
Not really. Counter charge
exactly.
is good enough.
Okay, so yeah, Dindrain's overall not bad. In all honesty, after watching you and Connor play, I don't think you're ever going to be able to use the Soul Blast 2 countercharge effect unless you put a good Soul Charge engine into the deck.
Me and Connor talked about this actually yesterday. We would actually change that deck a lot because we weren't playing that deck at all optimally.
Not one bit.
There was a double rare from set 10 that does everything the deck wants to do that we should have been playing. We should have been playing the Dragon Tree Wretch for grade 1 because all of the calls you're getting, you can at least counterblast to draw, and you're using your CB so you can make use of like, oh, I need a counter charge. So you don't have an excuse, actually have an excuse to use it.
Which double rare from set 10?
It's a Dragon grade 2 that says when it's placed by a card's effect, you give it +5 and then Soul Blast 2 to draw. And if it was placed by an God, what was it? It's something else that gains a boost. So it becomes like a 15k attacker or booster that draws a card. But you have to call it by a card effect.
And the cost is what now?
Soul Blast 1.
That could work. I don't know where you're going to get the soul from, but that could work.
I mean, if we're running, because we're running the, what do you call it? The Dragon Tree Wretch. You have the counterblast to use the good counter charger that we cut because we never had any use for it. Because we never got the counterblast.
Shit, I actually prepped it because I forgot she's a set 8 double rare and not a set 10 double rare.
Yeah.
She was just not in my hand. The fuck did she? Oh, there she is. You mean Turnar?
Yeah.
The card I said the second Ezel dropped. Yeah, you should play this.
No. So we did play test it, but the problem is the way Connor was playing his build, we never got more than 3 face down damage, so we never got the counter charge off.
Bro, that's what you got the witch for.
I know he never saw it.
Bruh.
So like we were sitting here like, well, we might get 2 face down damage. So like. And then he keep calling that card to the board. And
okay, so there's one misconception you two both have. Getting it right off the bat in the first time you can play. That's not the point. You need also to think about future. Watching the video, at one point Connor was 5 face down. If he survived, he would not have any place.
But like, I get where Connor was coming from though. Like, you want to make the best use of it because there was times where he was calling in test games where it was literally like, well, here's a vanilla for 4 turns. Like, he felt bad because he had to use a Dendrine to tuck it back to the bottom.
Well, don't use Dendrine to tuck it. Don't call, bro.
He had to open circles, and those were the only things he was seeing was those the turners.
You don't play because you can. You play what's smart.
Well, like I said, we have ideas to change the deck to make it better.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be excited to see the changes. But until then, we got to move on.
Yes.
Are you tired of the same old lame deck boxes cramping your style? Are you tired of complex designs confusing you in your day-to-day life? Does the carpet not match the drapes? Well, no longer. Introducing Zero Damage Deck Boxes. Form-fitting, functional, and pleasing to the eyes. Match with your favorite units. Hold all of your cards and dice. Your taxes too difficult? Use them to file them. You can even wash your car. Clean your body with them. Clean that dirty body. You know what it is. And so much more. You can find all of these hot hits and more at ZeroDamageGaming.com. Use promo code TOPDeckHeroes at checkout for a discount. Not responsible for damage to product when washing in shower or car.
So, with set 11 concluded, we look forward to the future. And set 12 is on the horizon. But before we actually talk about any cards that leaks for set 12, there's a set in between with Sword Boys.
Yes.
Oh, the token Rambu cards. Again. Now, we still don't know if we're getting it in English. I'm pretty sure we are since we got set 1. And honestly, I'm hoping we do, because some of these effects are kind of busted. So we're going to start off and talk about Sword Boys. On the channel, we are going to do them sooner than later. But first we need to do nation fights, and that's going to take a while. But Alex, start us off with our poster boy for Token Rambu.
Oh, he actually has a ride line now. I do remember some of them slightly. Like I remember the grade 3s and then this guy, and that's pretty much about it. So, oh God, just quiet the names.
Do you want me to take care of Sword Boys?
You say the names, I'll read the effects.
Mikazuki, Munechika, Ubu no Sugata.
That. Starter skill, usual. Same. They're not going to change starters. They do, unless you're Dragon Tree.
Yes, but now, like Alex said, he's got his whole ride line. There you go.
Yes. So,
and we go with the grade 1 Mikazuki Munechika Sento.
It's auto when this card is rode upon by a grade 2 with
Mikazuki. Mikazuki.
In his card name. You can look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Choose one grade 2 or less card from among them, call it to rear guard, and put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Or top or bottom of your deck in any order.
So it's a plus the board already on grade 2 turn.
And stack your deck somewhat.
Yeah, put the rest on the top or bottom. Yeah. So you can either put it on top or put it on bottom if it's not a good card. So overall, compared to most ride lines, that's not bad. Anyway, speaking of the grade 2, we got Mikazuki Munechika Toku. They're still doing the Sendo Toku for the ride line as always, but it's good to see.
His is continuous Vanguard. If your soul has 3 or more cards with 2 or more cards with the thing in their card names, when you would ride from a grade 3 with the card name and it's named from your right deck, you can ride without discarding the card.
So basically, it's a free ride.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
I mean, keeping your hand size without having to ditch pieces is always good. Like, looking powerful.
Exactly.
Overall, not bad. Now let's actually look at the big boy main boss unit, grade 3 himself, Mikazuki Munechika Kiwame. The Kiwame war is going to be very important.
All right. Continuous Vanguard. During your turn, if you have 3 or more stand rear guards, this unit gets power +5 and critical +1. Okay.
Yep.
Act Vanguard once per turn cost Soul Blast 1. Look at 2 cards. Look
at the top 2 cards of your deck.
That's 300. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them. Call it to rear guard, and put the rest in the top or bottom of your deck in any order. Oh, so it's just like the other one. And then auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, cost discard 2 cards from your hand. Choose 2 of your front row rear guards and stand them. No, it's a multi-attack. And
so it's
funny.
Huh?
It's funny because his rear guard skill also multi-attacks. So.
Yeah. So he's a multi-attacking double critical Vanguard. So he can do 5 attacks. And if you do everything correctly, the second he swings, you ditch 2 cards. And he gains 5k in a crit.
So wait. That also means that you're getting 6 attacks because the rear guard version of him also restood back in the day.
Bro, I need to check what the rear guard version of him actually did. It's been a while.
I'm pretty sure he restood on rear guard and then stacked the deck or something.
Well, the grade 2 rear guard, Mikazuki Munechika, we're just going to remind ourselves real quick, has the ability, auto rear guard once per turn. When this unit attacks, perform all the following according to the number of cards in your damage zone. 3 or more, this unit gets power 5k until the end of the turn. 4 or more, look at the top card of your deck and put it on top or bottom of your deck. And then 5 or more, Cannon +1, Soul +1, and stain this unit. So if you're at Limit Break 5 with this deck, this is 7 attacks.
And you're also stacking like god-awful
stacking your deck every single time, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Vanguard's double critical and 18k, if not 28 by the time you're 5 damage, you might have Persona Road.
Yeah.
Honestly, not bad. Not bad one bit. Moving on, though, we got, other than the ride line, we got one more grade 2 for this deck, in a sense. It's basically a generic card for Token Rambu, but honestly, it's really good in almost anything. We got Kogitsunemaru Kiwame.
I love how all the red lines from the first time around are getting grade 2s, and the grade 2s from that are generically random are getting red lines.
Was he a ride line?
Yeah, he was. I think he did something with getting crits.
Well, before we look back at back in time for his grade 3 version, let's talk about his grade 2 version in this set. He's a triple rare in this set, and he goes continuous front row rear guard. This unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects, and all of the cards in your hand get continuous hand. When this card would be discarded from hand for the cost of your Vanguard's ability, it may be regarded as discarding 2 cards. So the previous card we talked about, instead of ditch 2 restand your rear guards, it's ditch 1.
Oh, that's interesting.
This has to be in the front row, so if you were doing the combo we did before, it's about 6 attacks. But then it has continuous rear guard Shinken Hisatsu. This ability is active if you have 3 or more damage. This unit gets power 10k and it's active during your opponent's turn 2. So this at limit break 3 is a 20k, cannot be touched, reduce the cost of your Vanguard's abilities by, you know, just card on the board.
Fair.
See what I'm talking about? This stuff is starting to look very interesting. Right?
Yeah. I just like, I know that there's like this whole, I saw the thing that you can put in your ride line. And that's where I'm like, I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot.
Oh, by the way, his original version from set 1 of Token Rambu Online was literally just a grade 2 that says continuous Vanguard rear guard. This unit has 13k power or less. This unit cannot attack. So you had to bump him up by some way for him in order to attack. Otherwise, he's a grade 2 13k base Vanguard rear guard.
Huh. I could have sworn he had his own ride line back then.
Nope.
Oh, well.
That's it.
Well then.
Overall, still good to see he has a Kiwame version, because the Kiwame keyword is going to be very important here in a bit. Before we get to that, we got to talk about one common set order inside of Token Rambu that's called Forge. It's a grade 1 set order.
Looking.
The what?
It's so cute, little cheapy looking thing.
I know, right? Bruh, the effect on the other hand. After you play the set order, put it in the order zone like per usual with set orders. But it goes continuous order zone. The act ability of Forge can only be used a total of once each turn. So we see the return of hard once per turn abilities for cards in these series. So if you have multiple Forges, you can only use one.
They should have just did the whole like little icon for one turn, just like a whole icon for like hard ones per turn.
You're not wrong, but didn't they think that far ahead? No, they did think about twice per turn. Remember that?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a reason you can only do this ability once per card. Because Act Order Zone, once per turn cost, put a card from drop to the bottom of the deck other than a heal or over, which means it could be a crit draw or front. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until the number of normal units revealed is the same as the number of Forge in your order zone. Choose a card from among them, revealed normal units, and call it to rearguard as rest. If the called unit is less than or equal to your Vanguard's grade, stand that unit and it gets 5k until the end of the turn for each other normal unit revealed by this effect. Shuffle the deck.
Nifty.
Did you just comprehend what this does?
It looks at top X cards, top X cards where X is the number of normal units plus whatever the card is copies.
It looks at the top X cards until you reveal normal units equal to the number of Forges.
That's what I meant to say, but you said it a better way, better than I was trying to say. Anyways, and then you call one, and then for every normal unit that you did get to call, it gets power.
For every other. So it's like the Maelstrom one. Basically, if you have 3 Forges, the called unit will gain 10k power because it doesn't count the 1 Forge.
Oh, I thought it gained the power off the normal units you revealed.
Yeah, but you can only reveal equal to the number of forges, and it only looks at the other normal units.
Fair.
So you could also think of it as, first forge, no power, second forge, 5k, third forge, 10k, fourth forge, 15k.
I mean, it's a great way to dig for your pieces, at least.
Bro, this is literally just like, give me a normal unit. Dig my deck until I get a normal unit. Go. This is one of the best forms of deck thinning I've seen.
Yeah.
Because tell me, how many times have you done top 3, top 5, even top 7, and you look and it's nothing but triggers?
Yeah.
This is good. And it's a common. Anyway, enough dilly-dallying around commons. There is one set order to be exact, that we actually need to talk about. And I'm going to read this one, and then you can read everything to follow.
Okay, because I was about to say, this is the card I read.
Yeah, this starts to get stupid. Spoiler alert, Token Rambu has Crest. Not how you think. So we're going to start off with the set order, grade 3 set order, training tools. Now hold your horses, there's a lot of text. You can have a total of 5 cards in your ride deck made up of this card and unit cards without Kiwame in their card names, and 1 grade 0 to 2 unit cards each, and put this card face up. So basically it's similar to Grifogira, but you have to have 0, 1, 2, and then 1 more non-Kiwame unit card in there. Plus the order. Then, auto ride deck. When you stand up, basically start the game. Put this card into order zone, choose a unit card without Kiwame in its card name from your ride deck, put it into the order zone face up, and it becomes in training. Basically, to kind of skip ahead, you basically put your main Vanguard into the order zone and had it start training. And you've left the 0, 1, 2 in the right deck while the order and that card are now in the order zone. Because then we continue continuous order zone, your Vanguard loses all of their auto abilities and act abilities. So you are playing vanilla Vanguard until you can get to grade 3 turn. Speaking of, that means that 13k base grade 2 we looked at a little while ago is not a bad option for the ride line.
Yeah. You're not wrong, actually.
Then we got 2 more abilities. Continuous order zone. You cannot normal ride from hand, and when you would ride from your ride deck, you can ride without discarding a card from hand. This is starting to look a lot like Grifogira without the actual, soul charging the orders.
Hey, at least you can't plus from your abilities, but at least you can plus from this, since you don't, the discard.
Bro, Grifagira's plussing is actually legit. So the fact that this thing does it in a similar way, that's actually good plussing.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, the main ability of this order, act order zone. If your ride deck has no cards and you did not ride this turn, put a card in training into soul. Search your deck or hand for up to 1 card with both Kiwame in its card name and the card name of the card put into soul. I lost my read. Oh, soul. Write it as stand, and if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. If you wrote a card, put this card into your soul, and you get a crest depending on your Vanguard's race. A lot of fucking text to unpackage, but holy fuck.
So basically, you get the Kiwame version without having to go through the loops of waiting a turn to write it.
Correct.
And then you also get a crest to follow.
Yes. And we'll talk about the crests and everything. One thing I do want to know immediately, other than the plussing, because you're not discarding, you also basically start your grade 3 turn, your turn 3, with 5 cards in soul.
Yeah. Also,
dude,
if you pull off the whole stunt you were talking about, means that you can be on a grade 2, be on a 13k base while your opponent's at grade 1.
Pretty much. Bro, I need to look at set 1 and see if there's any other cards like that, because it loses its auto and act abilities. Oh, auto and act abilities, not continuous, though. Sadness.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Almost broke it. Almost broke it. Good thing we reread. But still, like, you are playing, like Griffagera, you're playing vanilla Vanguard until you get to your grade 3. Hold up, let me correct myself. Until you get to your grade 3. Bro, you don't understand. Almost every single card has a Kiwame version. And they're not just grade 3s.
Uh-oh.
There's grade 1 Kiwames, there's grade 0 Kiwames, there's grade 2 Kiwames. So let's real quick just talk about what's going on here before we actually talk about the crests and talk about other cards. So first off, if I can find the correct thingy, to kind of double reiterate how the whole training tools gimmick works. 1, your ride deck is comprised of cards from grade 0 to 2 and the training tools set order and a card without Kiwame in its card name. Then when you stand up your 5th token Danshi entering training, so basically you grab your main Vanguard that you want, the whatever card it is, put that in the order zone. When you would ride grade 3, instead you put the token Danshi in training into your soul, search your deck for his or hand for a Kimara version, ride a stand, and it gets appropriate crest depending on its sword type. And there's 4 crests for 4 sword or for multiple sword types. Make sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
Now, all token Danshi of any grade can be used as your Vanguard when they undergo training. Grade 0, Shinao Toshiro is a Tanto, so he gets the ability of the Tanto Kiwame crest. The grade 1, Monoyoshi Sadamune is a Wakizashi, so he gets the ability of Wakizashi Kiwame crest. And for example, the grade 2, Nagasono Kotetsu, is an Uchigatana, so he gets an ability of the Uchigatana Kiwame crest. So your Vanguard can be grade 0, 1, or 2, or even 3, as long as it's got the Kiwame and its original thing existing. Make sense now?
Uh-huh.
Why can your Vanguard be grade 1? Well, we're gonna talk about the crests now. I'm gonna read the crest, the name. You read the ability.
Okay.
And read every single word because it's important. And we're gonna start off with the Otachi's ability Kiwame.
All right. Continuous. You cannot ride a unit with a different card name from your Vanguard.
So you can only ride that specific name plus Kiwame. You can't even ride the original name, just that specific name.
Continuous. All of your cards with the same card name as your Vanguard become grade 3, power plus 13, critical 1 units with twin drive, persona ride. Jesus Christ. And all of the following. So they just become grade 3s.
Read the reminder text.
They will lose all of their original power, shield, and abilities. Continuous Vanguard. This unit
auto Vanguard.
Sorry, it is auto. Yeah, auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks, this unit gets power plus 10,000 until the end of battle. Then cost counterblast 1. Choose one of your grade 3 rear guards and stand it. And then auto Vanguard. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, discard the top card of your deck. And if you discard a trigger, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards until it 1 damage. So which grade is the one that this is for?
So this is for the Otachi's ability Kiwame. You're going to have to give me a second because they didn't make this easy to kind of understand who's where, what, how, if you catch my drift.
So basically, it's not only dealing a damage, but it's also multi-attacking.
So one thing we can do while I look up for the cards that these correspond to is the fact that it doesn't matter what your grade your Vanguard is, it will become a 13k grade 3 twin drive persona ride. Mm-hmm. And it will lose all of its original abilities and gain these specific abilities. So basically, these crests that we're going to talk about, they're basically Vanguards that just said, you're a crest instead of an actual unit you need to ride.
I also love how they're expanding on the crest mechanic. Like they're not okay, stride deck sets are the only thing to do it. No, like you can have other decks that can also get crests.
Yeah, this is a fun way to do crests. This is a really fun way to do crests.
Don't give them like power plus 5 for each card in your G zone. Do this.
Bro, it is really hard to figure out which crest this goes to in legitimacy. Okay, Tanto, Vikazashi, Uchigatana, Uchigatana.
We just added.
Tachi. All right, there we go. You know what? We're going to skip back and forth a little bit. We're going to skip back and forth. So the Otachi crest can go to this card, Hotarumaru Kiwame. He's a grade 3 double rare in the set. And he's got his own ability, but if you have the crest active, his ability does not matter. He becomes a 13k with that specific ability. So he is correspondent to that crest.
It's actually kind of funny because the original also restood a rear guard, but only if you hit.
Pretty much.
So now you get a restand for without hitting, and you also get a damage ping.
Correct. I do need to check something because these cards are starting to get a little bit confusing. Yeah, so they lose all of their original power shield and abilities, right? Mm-hmm. So Hotarumaru Kiwame, original ability, he's a grade 3. Auto rearguard, when this unit attack hits a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, cannibus 1 rest a rearguard and stand this unit. So it's a restanding rearguard.
Oh, and rearguard. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a restanding rearguard for Cannoblast and resting another rearguard. And then it has auto rearguard when this unit stands during your battle phase. This unit gets power 5 until the end turn. If you have an Otachi's ability Kiwame Crest, it gets 10k instead of 5.
Oh, so this is a newer card.
Huh? Yeah, this is definitely a newer card.
Yeah.
But see, there's one thing though. You cannot have him as your Vanguard and have this ability. So you need another Otachi Kiwame as your Vanguard and run him as a support card to get his full ability off. You make sense?
Yeah.
Another, if I can find any, because, my God, he's the only Otachi that I can find. Bro, like this is getting really confusing. A little bit because there's like 4 crests and 4 of these.
Let's read all the crests first. I feel like that might be easier.
That probably would be easier. Let's not skip around. Let's talk about the second crest. Wakizashi ability Kiwame.
Continuous, the same thing. You can't ride a different name from your Vanguard. And continuous, all of your units become the whole power plus 3 critical, lose everything.
So yeah, they're always going to only be able to ride themselves. And as well, there will always be grade 3s, 13k twin drive persona ride. The only thing that changes between the crest is the 2 abilities they gain. So what are the 2 abilities?
Auto Vanguard at the beginning of the battle phase, all of your rear guards gain power plus 5,000 to the end of turn. And then Auto Vanguard once per turn when this unit attacks. Unit is attacked. Cost. Counterblast 1, reveal the top card of your deck, put it into your hand, and increase this unit's power by the original shield of that revealed card.
It's a fun effect.
It's like here's a free plus to your hand and shield. It's free. It's counterblast, but still.
Yeah, bro. Like this is half Tamayura at first, because it's like basically 5k to the front, and it's the beginning of your battle phase, so it's a better Tamayura in a sense. But the defensive effect's funny. Like, imagine you just Cannoblast 1. Oh, look, a crit trigger, plus 15k to my Vanguard, and I get a 15k to my hand.
See, all I'm remembering is that, and
he's lost it.
That's all right. I just realized something that, it's also once you get the crest up, that means that if you have grade 1s and 2s, you no longer have those shields in hand.
No. So if you choose to have a grade 1 to be your Vanguard and turn into, a grade 3, all your grade 1s in your deck that are of that name will become grade 3s. So they lose their shields and powers. But
what I was saying earlier before I got distracted is, I remember back when we played Tokenomics the first time, a lot of the cards are so generic that you just had this like whole Highlander-ish deck of different name cards from that didn't fit, and just like, oh, here, this sounds like a cool effect. This sounds like a cool effect. So all I remember thinking about is like reading this card. I'm like, you just have all these random like restanding rear guards and all these weird power. I burn a card and retire rear guard skills.
Bruh, I just remember from Token Rumble when we played this that everybody ran that fucking grade 2 that we talked about, the first ride line.
Yeah.
Because he was a restanding fucking rear guard that can scry.
Every one of them had a possibility of 5 attacks because of it.
Pretty much. Anyway, moving on to the third crest, we're going to look at Tonto's ability, Kiwame. And from the amount of symbols, I think this is the most of them.
Jesus. So the same spiel, and then auto Vanguard when this unit attacks cost counterblast 1, and until the end of the battle, your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater cards from hand to Guardian Circle. Oh, that's dumb. And then continuous Vanguard during your opponent's main phase. All of your rear guards cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. Cool.
Bruh. Luckily, like this is the only effects the Vanguard has, so it's still just a vanilla Vanguard swinging for, no Sentinels or no rear ones or greater.
Mm-hmm.
Which could be good, could be bad. This is basically a jet effect without the 5k.
This is also forcing your opponent to literally have to swing into your rear guards almost.
Bruh, this just cooks over Gendiva hard. Like, sure, battle phase, you'll get maybe 1 or 2 retires depending on what combos you do. But main phase, nah, you ain't touching shit.
I mean, it is chosen, so if you hit something that chooses circles or chooses columns and stuff like that, you can still get around it, but still.
Exactly. Overall, it's nice to see protection. And then last, crest, Uchigatana's ability Kiwame.
It's auto Vanguard when this unit attacks. Cost counterblast 1 and choose one of your rear guards, stand it, and this unit gets power plus 10 until the end of battle. And then auto Vanguard once per turn. When your rear guard is attacked, cost Soul Blast 1 until the end of battle. All of your rear guards cannot be retired, even if they are hit.
This is basically grade 2 obfuscate. This is no Vermilion. This is Clarissa just saying them, fuck you.
I think Vermilion still gets around it. I need to reread the order 1 minute.
Yeah, I don't remember if Vermilion is, instead of them being retired, they're bound.
That's what I'm checking.
But if they never get retired, they never get bound.
It is when your opponent's rear guard is hit by this unit and would be retired, bind it instead of retiring it.
So no, it stops it. Bruh, this stops Clarissa, this stops Vermilion, this stops Obfuscate grade 2.
I don't think it stops Clarissa because it says they're still hit.
Well, sure, they're hit, but they stay on board. Like, sure, Clarissa can plus. I'll give her the plus just to let me keep my units. Vermilion too, like, you can do whatever you want with your own hits. Just let me keep my units.
You know what's funny about this card? It's like over here playing Soji. I'm like, that's cute. Just bind the circle.
It is what it is. But yeah, those are the ability cards, the 4 of them. Like it specified, you have to have the specific, the race in this case to use the specific crest for. Yada, 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 and then other cards work around them. So let's actually look at some of the cards that are Kiwame that have possibilities of becoming your Vanguard, but also could be your rear guards in different decks. For example, we're going to talk about Shinano Toshiru Kiwame. It's a grade 1 common. So this could be a Tonto Vanguard with the Tonto crest, or just a rear guard that says auto rear guard. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, cost counterblast 1, put this unit into your soul, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and retire it. So CB1, draw, soul, retire. It's not bad.
Question. So the crest makes them lose the abilities, right? Does that mean on rear guard too?
Yes. All copies of the Vanguard that the crest is associated to, all the cards in your deck with that specific full name become a grade 3.
So basically, this is good in the early game, and then it's dead afterwards. It's only persona rating afterwards.
If you choose him as a Vanguard, yes.
Okay.
But you can choose another Tonto to be your Vanguard, and he works in the deck.
See, think about it now. The rear guard effects have to be really dumb because, like, what is the incentive of you putting down your persona rides and wasting your persona rides early?
Pretty much. Like, for example, we're going to talk about another great one that's a double rare, Monoyoshi Sadamune Kiwame. He has the ability Continuous Rear Guardian Circle Shinken Hisatsu, which is basically GB3. This unit gets Intercept, can intercept from the back row, and it gets Shield 5k, making it a 10k back row interceptor. So if you could choose him to be your Wakazashi crest Vanguard, or you can choose another Wakazashi to be your crest Vanguard, and he's just a good 10k interceptor from the back row.
Yeah. I mean, at least you know if you feel like you're going against a very aggressive rush deck, you can rush them back by like, sacrificing your persona rides and then, you know, eventually like intercept with it and keep you so you can lift it a turn.
In a sense. All right, moving on to a Ujikatana option. We got Nagasone Kotetsu Kiwame. He's a grade 2, like I said, is a Ujikatana crest. But he also has 2 abilities if you don't want him to be your Vanguard. Continuous Rigor, this unit gets power 10k, active during your opponent's turn, that's it. He's always a 20k beater at all fucking times on Rearguard. And then Continuous Rearguard, if the total number of attacks this turn is not 3 or more, this unit cannot attack. There's the reason why he's a 20k beater at all times. Thoughts?
Oh, sorry, I'm rereading the whole card.
Yeah, he's literally always a 20k, but he can only swing if it's a 3rd battle or more.
Okay. I mean, it's cool.
Bro, power's power. I'll take it. Anyway, moving on to another grade 2 double rare for Ujikatana. We got Yamato no Kami Yasusada Kiwame.
Oh, this one has a wall of text.
Yep. Let's see if it's good enough. Again, if it's not your Vanguard, it has the ability Auto when this unit is placed on Rearguard. Counterblast 1. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 grade 3 or greater card with Kushu Kiyomitsu in its card name from among them. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you did not reveal a card, choose a unit card with Kashu Kiyomitsu in its card name from your drop and put it into your hand. Continuous Rearguard. If your Vanguard with Kashu Kiyomitsu in its card name was stand by a card's ability this turn, this unit gets power 10k. Now you might be wondering, what the fuck is a Kashu Kiyomitsu? Because the wiki does not have a link to this card, so I am wondering if it even exists, in all honesty. Yes, it does. Where are you? Ah, we have him. What is it? Oh, it's you. Oh, we'll get to you.
Oh.
We will get to him. So this is a support card for another card that we're going to talk about here in a second. Honestly, since we already talked about the grade 3, we can skip this one. Skip this one. We're going to move some stuff around. There he is. So we got Kashu Kiyomitsu Kiwame Sento. So to be clear, there exists a Kashu Kiyomitsu Kiwame without Sento from the original set. But this one just has the word Kiwame in between. So he can be your Uchigatana Vanguard if you want to. Otherwise, if not, he has 3 abilities, technically. Continuous Vanguard Rearguard, this unit is also regarded as Kashu Kiyomitsu Kiwame, so the original form.
And then you can run, if you don't want to do the whole weird get the crest thing, you can run this as technically like extra persona rides in your deck.
Pretty much, but let's be honest here. You might be running this as the main Vanguard because Auto Vanguard, once per turn, if you persona row this turn, this cost may be paid with Counterblast 1. At the end of the battle this unit attacked, discard a card from hand, put a card with the same card name as this unit from rearguard or hand into soul. Stand this unit and increase or decrease its critical and drive to 1 until the end of turn. So this could also be paid with Cannon Blast 1 if you Persona Road. If your soul has 2 or more grade 3 cards with Kasu Kiyomotsu in its card names, this unit gets auto Vanguard once per turn. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, Cannon Blast 1, stand this unit, and it gets drive -1 until the end of turn. This is a triple swinging Vanguard. You double reading to because
I'm trying to, because it loses a drive, so it's only draft checking 1.
So it goes to 1 critical 1 on the first swing, and then it loses 1 more drive on the second swing. So this the third swing doesn't have drive checks. You're only drive checking 3. You're not discarding anything. At most, you're counterblasting 2. And it's a triple swinging Vanguard. If you Persona Road, that's a triple swinging 23k attacker.
Well.
Fun, eh?
Fair.
And not to mention, the card we talked about a little while ago basically gains 10k power if your Vanguard stands by card's ability this turn. And it's a continuous, so it only gains the 10k ones, but still.
Fair enough.
Just for reference, the original version of him from set 1 was literally just continuous during your turn. If you have no face-up cards in your damage zone, it's it gains 10k. And then act Vanguard, Cannon Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, look at the top card of your deck, put it on top or bottom of your deck, and draw a card. That's it.
Oh, this was the trial deck guy.
Yeah. Bro, this was such an underwhelming effect when it came out, and now it turned into the triple swinging Vanguard. Bro.
The worst part is you have a triple swinging rear guard, and if you have the one grade 2 from the first set, it also has 5 extra restanding rear guards too.
So yeah, a lot of swings. Anyway, moving on to some more. We only got 2 more token Rambu cards to talk about. And we're going to talk about Horikawa Kunihiro Kiwame, the triple rare grade 1 for Wakizashi. So if you want a Wakizashi Vanguard, he can be one. If you don't want him as a Vanguard, he has 2 abilities. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, Cannon Blast 1, search your deck for up to 1 unit card with Izumi no Kami Kanesada in its card name, call it to rearguard and shuffle your deck. And then as auto rearguard, limit break 3, I'm not going to say the Hisatsu thing again. When your auto rearguard is in the same column as this unit, is placed other than from hand. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kashuki Mimitsu, which is the previous card we talked about, or Mutsu no Kami Yoshiyuki in its card name, that place unit gets power 5k until the end of turn. There's a lot of names back and forth in this damn deck. So let's kind of decompress. The first ability of searching your deck for up to 1 card and calling it to rearguard. That card, if I can really quickly search it out. Let's see here. D-Series, please. Thank you very much. Is from the first set, and its ability is auto rearguard. When this unit attacks while boosted, Cannon Blast 1 until the end of battle, this unit gets power 5k, and if it was boosted by Horikawa Kurihiro, which is basically the original version of the grade 1 we talked about, so it cannot be boosted by the grade 1 we talked about because it has Kiwame in its card name. When your opponent will call cards from hand, they must call 2 or more at the same time, so it's a Baldor. So it searches your deck and calls a Baldor. Make sense?
Philip?
Yeah?
It's okay to breathe in between reading.
I know, right? Anyway, the second ability of gaining 5k to anything that's called works for the previous card we talked about, but also works for, again, if I can search it fast enough, Mutsu no Kami Yoshiyuki, which was a grade 0. I need to check if it says in its card name. In its card name, it does. So this was he was a Vanguard later. I need to find him though. Yeah, so Sento was the Vanguard.
I think he
No,
retired
that-
cards.
No, Sento was not the Hanamato? Bro, there's way too many of these. Kiwame? Yeah, Kiwame.
Oh, man.
Bro, there's way too many of these, alright? The Kiwame version of him was continuous Vanguard. If your opponent does not have any rear guards in the back row, this unit gets power 2k active on your opponent's turn. It's a 15k if your opponent doesn't have front back row.
Mhm.
And then auto, when this unit attacks, Cannabis 1, choose one of your opponent's back row rear guards and retire. This unit gets 5k until the end of that battle for each of your opponent's open back row rear guards. So it's just a big
Yeah.
beater. So it was just a big beater. Bro, there's so many combinations and weird ass plays in this deck that I'm starting to lose track. One thing I do want to correct myself. The first ability of the grade 1, it searches out a card with Uzunoami Kanesada in its card name. So I can search out the new version that has Kiwame. Izumi no Kami Kanesada Kiwame, the grade 2 triple rare in this set that goes continuous rear guard during your turn. If you have a grade 1 or less rear guard in the same column as this unit gets power 5k. So combine the grade 1 with this, it makes a 23k column. And then auto front row rear guard when you're grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kashu Kiyomitsu or Muto Sonokami Yoshiyuki in its card name attacks. Put this unit on the bottom of the deck, draw a card, choose one of your Vanguard and get 5k until the end of the battle. I am not searching 2 more fucking cards. Bro, there's so many combos. What the fuck?
You know, as cool as the mechanic might be, I don't want to think that hard about like options. That's too many.
To be fair, all of the options don't have to be the original effects because we have the crest. These cards can work with those specific names while they have the crest abilities active.
I thought the crest turned off all of the skills.
They turn off all their skills of the Vanguard, but this is rearguard support.
Oh,
So
I
it
thought
keeps
just
the
turned
name, but gains the ability to crest. So you can have a Kashu Kiyomitsu, if I can Google it, wow, if I can search him out real fast. You can have a Kashu Kiyomitsu Vanguard, which in this case, one sec. Sure, let's do the Kiwame version, why not? So you can have the original Kashu Kiyomitsu, with the triple standing Vanguard, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want the triple standing Vanguard ability, you can just have a Uji Katana crest, and it has the Uji Katana crest, and you still have those abilities active because they have the name. They still have the same name.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yep.
To an extent?
Kinda.
Bro, this is getting even confusing for me. I thought I was keeping up, but then it was like... Like, the card we talked about, the whole 15k if your opponent doesn't have a back row.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can have that ability, or you can just give him the Uji Katana crest, which in this case, if I can find it, the Uji Katana crest was the 10k stand rear guard, and the cannot hit, my rear guards do not get retired if they're hit a crest. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Bruh, deck building for this is going to be a nightmare.
I get a headache just thinking about it.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But with that being said, that's been it with Sword Boys for this week. I'm actually scared to see what they give us next week. There's going to be a lot more of this. This is barely the beginning. So, speaking of next week, we got revealing strengthening cards for existing decks, including new Kiwame cards from Token Rambu Online 2023. So more Kiwame cards that can be Crest Vanguards and more support for existing cards, yada, yada, yada. So more headaches for us in the future. And then revealing a total of 3 new cards, one each from the stand-up deck set, Gramgaze, Favernil, and Orphist Blank. Oh, Orphist Masks. I don't know why it was covered.
Hey, look at that. We finally get set 12 leaks. Yeah.
In a sense. It's for the deck sets.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. I mean, the cool thing is these are, I think they said that the card. There is a new card in each of the deck sets, so this is going to be the new card. So this is actually going to be something that could break open the deck, possibly.
Pretty much. Well, we'll be there to test it out. I'm hoping, bro, we're going to be backlogged a little bit, but it'll be worth it. And then Tuesday stream revealing a total of 10, cards, including Hachisuka Kotetsu Kiwame Sento, as well as the crests for Tachi, Yari, Naginata. So 3 more crests. Token Rambu Online 2023. Bruh.
Come on. Like, this is too much.
Bruh, how the fuck are we gonna cover all this fucking sword, boys?
You see how we did this week? It's gonna be the same thing next week.
We got 10 nation fights to do, and then after that we got apparently 7 crests to do, and apparently also the stride deck sets to do, and oh my god. I'm glad I'm coming over in about 3 weeks. It's gonna be a lot easier doing all this shit in person.
Bro. I'm hoping that somebody else in their group is wanting to be on the channel for a little bit, because
No, bro. We're recruiting. We're forcing almost everybody to play at least one token Rambu deck. I don't fucking care.
Please.
Anyway, before we go to the last news section and end this very long episode, if you're interested in any of the cards we just mentioned, go check out Triple Sleeve TCG.
You got great deals on singles, coin splits, even cases. So go check out the website.
Link will be in the description. I do not lie. I was actually super excited for this interesting mechanic of the sword boys are bringing. But now that I've read everything, my head hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, talking about the news section, we got a little small bits to talk about. Starting us off with a strategy presentation coming up on June 13th. At the time of this recording, 10 days away. So you ready to stay up at 1 a.m.?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to. For this.
What is June 13th anyway? Bro, I don't have a calendar in front of me. What is June 13th?
I got you.
They're usually on a Wednesday, so I expect this to be on a Wednesday.
It's on a Tuesday.
So it's like a Tuesday night to Wednesday morning situation, right? I don't remember.
But no, it's a Monday night to Tuesday morning.
Bro, we've done so many of these fucking strategy presentations. You'd think we'd know what night into what morning this would happen.
Yeah, because that's what it was last time. Because I remember I was like, oh yeah, I'm off on Monday, but I gotta go to work the next day. And I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta go tired and be at the week. Yeah, last time I almost died. I'm not doing that again.
We'll figure it out. I might recruit someone else.
Get like a Eric or a Echo.
Hey, depending on his sleep schedule, I might get a Connor.
True.
Anyway, with the strategy presentation out of the way, there is one errata we need to talk about.
Oh yeah, this is a fun one.
Yeah, this became an errata fast. They were like, yeah, we fucked up. Here's the correct test. So last week or a few days ago, we talked about Gatling Wave Dragon and how he is super generic, can be played in any Stoicheia deck because his retire draw ability is not tied to his Maelstrom and fourth or fifth battle ability.
Yeah.
They corrected that because they realized, no, that's not what we wanted. We fucked up. So the correct ability now is auto rearguard when this unit attacks. If it's a fifth battle of this turn or more, and you have a Vanguard Maelstrom in its card name, this unit gets 10k until the end of that battle. And at the end of that battle, retire this unit and draw a card. So now the two parts are connected. They're not divided by a period anymore. Therefore, the only way to get the retire draw is to be fifth battle and a Vanguard Maelstrom.
Yep.
All good?
I mean, that's how I figured it was supposed to be in the first place, but, you know.
Hey, bro, supposed to be and is?
All I can say is that English Bushy have one job. Please.
No, good sir. This is also from the Japanese text.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, like, whenever they print it in English, they have a chance to print it with the right text and not have to do an errata. You have one job, English Bushy.
Bro, they have the updated text. We have the actual fully updated text. It's actually really easy to change it now. They just got to do it. So we'll see. The set 11's far and not far.
It's like, what, 3 months?
I know, right? All right. And last bit of news, we're trying to talk about a little bit of Shadowverse. Shadowverse on V-Time? Well, there's a reason. It's Vanguard related. So, to celebrate Shadowverse's release on June 30th, they're doing a special worldwide promotion in selected locals. So, experience the next evolution of Shadowverse. Starting with this June, Busher's staff will be heading to stores worldwide to teach you how to play Shadowverse Evolve. Sign up at your local store today. In the description, I'm going to link you guys with the actual link where you can check if your local store in your local country, in your local state, is actually going to be doing this promotion, and hopefully sign up and go there. But the reason we were talking about this is because for this event that is going to be held at apparently over 300 stores worldwide, you're going to be not only getting a Shadowverse exclusive promo, but also a White Sword and Vanguard exclusive promo at this event. Now, the White Swords card is some Guilty Gear, but the Vanguard is another Trickstar.
Dude, that art for Trickstar.
So yeah, if you're still interested in playing Nirvana or Nirvana Jehiva and you want a cool looking Trickstar, that's one way to get it. Try out Shadowverse, apparently. Does anybody want to tell Connor?
I mean, I might want it now.
You're not wrong. You fucking picked up a whole damn deck. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to end this episode here because that's basically been it. And I don't want this to go too long.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you like the episode, please leave a like. Share with your friends. Comment down below what you think about Ezel and Sword Boys. All the Sword Boys. Holy shit, did it give it a head? Did it give you a headache like it did us?
I'm dreading next week.
Pretty much. Yeah, but if you like what we do here, subscribe to the channel and ring that bell to get notified. Maybe even become a member I can't talk at the end apparently, for some exclusive perks. Follow us on all the socials, but with all that being said, I've been Philip.
This is Alex.
I'm gonna go reset my brain before I start talking mumbo jumbo. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I completely forgot you got a whole fucking Jehiva deck now. You want this Trickstar?
Huh?
You want this Trickstar? Well, good news and bad news. This one is only not in North Carolina. I checked. There's not one locals in North Carolina that's available.
Yet.